Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. This video I want to talk about Metric Beat and essentially show you a very simple demo. Now, as you guys know, Elasticsearch is one of the most leading and powerful search engine that can search across terabyte worth of data in a matter of seconds. There have been companies who have been using Elasticsearch and who are essentially searching across 15 terabyte of data every single day. For example, PayPal. So what makes Elasticsearch so unique is because you could search across this massive amount of data in a fraction of seconds, right? Even more interesting is the plugins that come with Elasticsearch. Logstash is one of a plugin that you can use to essentially ingest data from various sources, right? Then there are several other plugins. For example, FileBeat is a plugin that allows you to read data from various files and essentially ship to Logstash. Logstash can go to Elasticsearch. But remember, Logstash is just one of the destination. You could configure whatever destination you want. This demo, I want to show you how I configured essentially Metric Beats. So let me share my screen. So as you can see, right, I've been receiving I have been getting all these important, very valuable stats, right, from my computer. For example, memory, CPU, processes, and all these important, valuable information. I am getting it, right. So what it is doing is the Metric Beat is collecting the information and it's shipping to Logstash. Okay. Now, how to install and get started with all these stuff? So I went in and I installed. I downloaded the zip file for Metric Beats. You can easily Google it up. That should be available. Once you do that, guys, now there is a file called Metric Beats reference.yml. Over here, these are the parameters that I want to scrape. For example, every 10 seconds, I want to get the network, the process summary, uptime, socket summary, and CPU, right? CPU usage. So all these information I want to scrape every 10 seconds, right? So you could essentially change the interval based on your needs, right? Then there is a file called metricbeats.yml. So this file is basically you tell Metric Beats, you can do all the settings, right? So here I'm saying that I want to output my stats that I've been collecting using Metric Beats to a Logstash, right? So Logstash is running again on my computer on 5044. But what makes this more even interesting is this is not it. Like, you could configure any sort of output that you want. For example, you have output, if I'm not mistaken, Elasticsearch outputs. You have that. You could directly output to Elasticsearch. I think there is also AWS, right? You could also use AWS modules that they have. Then you can also use Kafka modules, right? There is various things that are available and you can come and explore. For example, here you can give the topic of a Kafka, you can give the port, you could define all these stuff. So what this tool does is it essentially collects the information from various sources. For example, here I'm showing you CPU stats, right? But you can also connect through Nginx logs, or any other important parameter that you want to scrape. You could essentially use Metric Beats to do that, right? So I did that essentially, and then what I did is essentially I fired a command called Metric Beats and essentially run. This will essentially run my Metric Beats. As you can see, every 10 seconds it essentially ships that data to my Logstash, right? Now, taking a look at the Logstash file, which is very easy, right? So I come to my Logstash and I would come to config, and here I have a file called matrix.conf. So all this does is essentially listens on port 5044. It's a beat, right? And I'm doing an std out, and I'm also outputting it to an index called matrix on Elasticsearch, right? So my Metric Beats, say you have multiple Metric Beats on multiple server, it's gonna they all are gonna ship their logs to your Logstash, and your Logstash is the one who's gonna take take log from here, take log from here, and then it's gonna dump to your elk index, right? You could also create time-based index. You could add grok patterns, filters, right? Or you could do all the stuff that is required, right? But the goal is to keep the video simple, right? And to see the actual power of Elasticsearch, Kibana, and all these amazing plugins that they have, right? We did take a look at FileBeat in the previous video. Then I gave you an example of essentially visualizing real-time logs of your Python application through Logstash and essentially Kibana. Now here is an example where we are taking CPU, network, and all these stats, and we are essentially getting that information into Elasticsearch. As you can see, the possibilities are simply endless, right? You could visualize literally anything with Elasticsearch. It is extremely powerful and in one of the most widely used technology in the industry. Hope you have enjoyed it. Please come and read more about MatrixBeats. People are also using this with Kubernetes and monitoring Kubernetes pods. It's amazing. Just look into it, read about it, and I'm sure you will love it. Love learning more about this topic. Thank you so much, and I hope you have enjoyed a nice walkthrough. And if you did enjoy, let me know in the comment section. I'll try to make more videos on more plugins, right? There are so many plugins. So what I'll do is I'll try to make videos of most popular plugins, okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.